What's up, guys? So today we're talking about a discontinued Spyderco model. Some of you guys have been in the knife game for a while, remember this knife. Some of you might already have them, maybe you EDC them, but more so I'm making the video to show newer generations of knife collectors some of the old stuff. This is the stuff that I saw come out back in the day. I don't recall exactly what year these were released, but they did last a little while. And then even after they were out of production, you'd see them pop up for sale every now and again. But anyway, this one is called the Spyderco Salsa. Now this one's a little bit harder to find because it has a sterile scale on here. Right now I'm going to show you some pictures of the more common salsa models that actually have a chili pepper logo and the word salsa right on the side. So you can see it comes in a couple different colors there. There were different variations on the knife over the years when it was in production. So this one was offered to me in trade, and that's what really stood out. I mean, I've had a couple salsas before. I had a green one for sure. I want to say I had either, I don't know if it was a red one or an orange one, but I've never had one that was sterile, that just had this scale like this. So I ended up trading for this knife just so I could put this in my, strange or unique knife collection for two reasons. One, I wanted to have a compression lock in there. Now it might not seem strange to you. A lot of you guys are EDCing paramilitaries and such and different models with compression locks. But I wanted to have a good representation of one, and this one is a little bit more unique in that it has that Cobra hood kind of opening disc along with the opening hole. Okay, so obviously Spyderco is known for their opening hole, but this has an additional thumb disc or thumb plate. They call them Cobra hoods because it kind of looks like that a little bit. If you look at a king cobra snake, as their neck kind of flattens out when they're upright and ready to strike. But yeah, it's just a pretty interesting knife. This one has very good lockup. The aluminum scales are black. It's kind of a little bit of a lighter black. I mean, obviously with this lighting, it might look almost like a dark gray, but this is a black model. You can see it does have a wire pocket clip on here, and it does have the compression lock on the back. Now, it's extremely smooth with the compression lock. If you don't close it all the way using the lock, you just open it, lightly close it. It has a stop point where it has to overcome this lock, and it clicks in. Literally unclicks and clicks in, which is not a bad thing or anything. Obviously, you can flick these things open, but like a lot of people, one of the benefits of the compression lock is it's really fun to kind of use that to open and close it, just like you would an Axis lock. Some specs on here. The blade is 2.4 inches. This is an AUS 8, that's right. A budget steel on a Spyderco from back in the day. Totally adequate. You guys know your AUS 8 by now. I don't recall the original cost on these, at least retail. But I want to say like retail was maybe 70 bucks in and around there. It wasn't a super expensive Spyderco. And it was pretty cool. It's very, very comfortable here in the hand. 3.5 inches in the closed position and 5.8 inches overall. So it's a fairly small knife. It's also very lightweight, just having aluminum. You can see it's an open frame design. All right. This weighs 2.5 ounces. But you can see, I mean, you can hold it back here. There's 3 finger grooves. All right, and then your thumb would rest on the back, and this plate would also double as like a thumb rest. It's very comfortable to push against that, very wide and flat. Or of course you can choke up. You're just moving your fingers up a set of choils, and now you have a full 4-finger grip. And same thing, your thumb would rest here. You can, choke up like that if you want to. I don't naturally do that, but it's very comfortable just like this. Very short, wide, stout blade. Not an incredible point on this, just because it is more of like a wider leaf-shaped blade as opposed to a long, slender one. So not a lot of penetration power with that tip. It is kind of blunt, or not, I wouldn't say blunt, but it's definitely kind of a squat tip and not super pointy at all. But nice little belly on this one. It is sharp. It does get the job done. Just a fun little pocket knife. So yeah, I mean, you will see the Spyderco Salsa pop up for sale, like on the forums, collectors, maybe find them on eBay every now and again. But more often than not, you will get one with that, chili pepper logo, which I actually think is really cool. I prefer it. But because this one is a little more rare, I know someone's gonna hit me. I'll be like, oh, I got the one with pepper. Why don't we trade? Well, I'm still interested in more of these, but I like this one just because of the fact that it's harder to find. I want to say there was also another titanium version of this with a different lock. I don't know if it was a frame lock Salsa or what, but I do remember like kind of a special run or something that was slightly different than the norm. Most times when you see these, you will see the other colors. The green is very prevalent. You see those pop up every now and again. And this is also offered in a combo edge blade. So being this is plain edge, black, with no logo on there, I thought it was a pretty cool find. Really appreciate the person who traded with me. And it's just a cool little addition to the collection. But I wanted to make a video on this knife just for the people, like I said, who are new, who've never seen this before. So if you ever see them pop up, it says Salsa on the side most of the time. And it's a pretty cool old Spyderco model. Spyderco, as well as a lot of different companies, came out with hundreds and hundreds of different knives. And depending on how long you've been collecting knives or interested in the hobby, there's a lot of them you've never seen. So as much as I like showing, brand new stuff that's coming out, I get a little more excited when I get to show older stuff. Older models that a lot of younger kids, teenagers, or even guys in their 20s and 30s that just never saw because they weren't that much into the hobby when these things were, alive and kicking. But now, a little bit harder to find. They're out there. You could definitely find them. Don't know offhand what the value is currently for any of the versions. You just have to see what the market's going for. If you see them selling them, people are bidding on eBay and they're getting $100 or $150 or $200, whatever the case may be. It's harder with these older models that are discontinued because there's nothing to compare it to. If you have a knife that's in production, let's say, I don't know, a Griptilian or something, right? Benchmade Griptilian. If you see them selling all day long for $95, that's your comparison. So someone has one for sale, you say, well, I can get one new for $95. With something like this, there is no steady source of them because they are out of production. So it's whatever the market makes it. If the only people that own these all sell them for $1,000, that's the price that they are, $1,000, But that usually doesn't happen like that. Usually there's enough people out there that have these that, maybe family members pass away and they're going through their stuff, or they're just going through old boxes or drawers or who knows what, and they find these and they sell them for whatever, but it's a much wider gap as far as prices you see. You might find this for sale for $50. You might find this for sale for $250. Original, in the box, brand new, who knows? It's all over the place with value. But anyway, that's all. Just wanted to bring this this knife to the community. If you haven't seen it before, there it is. Now you know. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. Down in the comments, let me know if you ever EDC'd a Spyderco Salsa and if you have one in your collection right now. Because there were a couple different variations on this is another one of those cool models that you can just specifically collect. I'm sure someone out there or multiple people have gone through the trouble because they like this knife so much. They've gone and gotten every version of this knife. It's like I know people with Delica collections. They get every version of the Delica that ever came out. And it makes it kind of fun because you narrow it down, especially as you start accumulating a couple of them. You start narrowing it down like, oh, there's only 3 I don't have that they ever made, and then you try to find those, and it makes the whole collecting part of it really, really exciting and fun. But anyway, that's all. That's enough for today. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow with another video. Take care.